What's going on, y'all? Podcast 161. Hope everyone's having a good week so far. August 5th. And it's Wednesday. And we're on our way to work, baby. Wanted to tap back in because I just kind of had something that I had been working on this week, and I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. I know I've been also working on like being a pressure reliever for the people around me. So what's crazy, so I released that part 2, the last episode. I released it yesterday, but I filmed it on Monday. I filmed it in the morning before work. And that day, throughout the day, I just kept like noticing things, like noticing, people talking to me that I don't usually talk to. And it was almost like God was like putting people in my path, to relieve some pressure off of, and and I hope I did that. I hope I was able to successfully relieve some pressure off the people that I came in contact with. But I just, the fact that I like noticed it was like a big thing for me. So yeah, man, I just, the one thing I wanted to work on this week, again, being a pressure reliever, but also like the art of noticing. The art of noticing. The beauty around us, the people that are placed in our path, the things to be thankful for. There's a lot that we see every day, but we don't notice them. You know what I mean? We don't have a little bit of more of awareness for these things that we're seeing, because maybe we're just so caught up in like the routine, like we feel like we have somewhere to be, like we don't have time. And I think when you take time to notice things, you create more awareness, you create more presence in your life. One thing I just noticed, there's a guy that always walks up and down this road here, and I always pass him every morning. And he's an older gentleman. He always wears like trucker hats and a flannel shirt, but he's always walking, man. And it's cool because I've found some enjoyment in walking recently. Just kind of getting outside and just getting my steps in. So it's cool, man. It's cool to notice that gentleman right there. But yeah, man, the art of noticing. I want to notice things. I want to see things with my heart and not just my eyes. How many beautiful things do I walk by every single day and just overlook them and not really take a second to just be like, wow, that's awesome, man. That's beautiful. That's God's creation, And I think, I just mentioned I've been getting outside and walking more. I think when you get outside, it opens you up. More than just getting your exercise in, I think it opens your heart up. It opens up your mind. And it creates a presence within that I personally don't think that you can get when you're in the gym. Yeah, you might be getting your exercise in, but when you're outside getting your exercise in, man, there's something about it. There's something different about it. And I'm sure there's like some science behind it, but to me, it's just, you're just more present, and it like forces you to notice the things around you. It's one thing to notice like a really attractive person or a nice car, a big house. But are you noticing the flowers? Are you noticing the trees, the plants? What about the little flowers, the wild flowers that are coming up? Are you noticing the sticks in the trees? Do you notice the animals in the woods? Do you notice the horizon? When you look as far as you can possibly look, what do you see? What do you notice? I was thinking, like, I was at the park the other day, and I did notice, I was like trying to look at the horizon, try to see as far as I could see, and I saw a big water tower, and I was just thinking, like, damn, I wonder how long it would take for me to walk from here to that water tower. If I just cut through the cornfield and just keep going. So, I don't know that that's important, but it was just interesting to think about. Another thing I've been noticing, because I've been getting up in the mornings and walking, getting to the park before the sun's even up, and, you notice the fog, you notice the sounds, you really notice the sounds when you're the only person there and it's pitch black. You notice the people that get there as early as you do, and they're doing the same thing. You notice people's dogs. I notice when I take my dog to the park in the mornings, he's chiller throughout the day. He's more calm. He's getting his exercise in. You notice how quiet it is outside that early in the morning. I notice that even though I notice my fears, I guess I have a fear of like the park it's real dark. It's 4 a.m. Nobody else is there but me. We're out in the woods, so you notice these fears, but you don't let them overtake you. So, yeah, man, I say all that to say, like, be a noticer. Notice things. You're already living. You're already out and about. Why not notice things? Like right here, they're tearing down it looks like an old, like, water tower or something. But you just notice, like, man, they're doing things like that to help make the city better. I just want to notice things, man, and just see them and hopefully create a little bit more presence and peace of mind. I don't want to get so caught up in life that I just lose the presence. I was thinking about this the other day, especially with technology and cell phones and all this stuff, man. I feel like, social media, we've like disengaged from having conversations with people, whether it's a phone call or whatever. Like, we're always just so fast paced. Like, people always have somewhere else to be other than where they're at, including myself. And I'm only saying that because I want to notice that about me so I don't have to keep doing that. But, with technology, man, it's like, why can't... It's like this, like, almost like this knowing of like, man, I see them on Facebook and I know what they're up to. I'm not going to give them a call. I'm not going to bug them. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. Nah, man. I think when you pick up the phone and call somebody, it says you notice them. You notice them in your heart. You notice that, hey, I haven't talked to this person in a while. Let me give them a call. Social media is fake, man. Yeah, they might post pictures of their kids. Yeah, they might have taken a vacation and you liked their photos. Maybe they got a new house and you liked their photos, but that's not noticing. Maybe it is a little bit. But I think the real noticer is the person who picks up the phone and calls them and, hey man, I saw you were on vacation. How'd you, how was it? Did you guys have a good time? Hey man, I saw you, you guys got a new house. Where are you guys living at now? Yeah man, let me come check it out. Hey man, I just noticed that your kid, man, is just getting so big, and I wanted to ask you, man, how's the fam? It's just something different about noticing and recognizing and taking time to notice things. If that makes any sense. So, yeah, man, I just want to be more present in life and not get so bogged down and caught up in my own schedule and my own to-do list that I lose sight of beautiful things around me. Beautiful things that are opening up for me to see and notice, but I'm not, because I'm so busy on my phone. Yeah, I was thinking about this, man. Like, back then I felt like we had a more intense awareness about life because we weren't, neck deep into our phones all the damn time. I think these phones, yeah, man, they're cool. I can sit here and I can do a video. They're cool. I can, read books on my phone. I can, listen to music. I can plug my Google Maps in. I can check my email, whatever. But man, they're just a huge distraction. They're just such a distraction. And they're distracting us from noticing things. They're distracting us from the beauty that surrounds us every single day. And not only do they distract us, they make us compare our lives to people we don't even know. And it's a shame, man. So I want to notice that. I noticed that to help me create a way out of that. I want to notice that so I know, okay, man, I'm going to take time. I'm going to put my phone down. I'm going to just sit in this moment. This morning, man, I noticed typically in the mornings on my way to the gym, it's very early. It's, 4:30 in the morning. I'm tired, but I'm sitting here like rummaging through Spotify on my way to the gym, like just trying to find like the perfect song. I'm on my phone. And this morning I noticed it. And you know what I said? I put my phone down and I said, you know what? I'm going to just sit here in silence and drive to the gym. You know, it's dark, I'm tired, but I'm just going to do it, man. You know? There's times where we can sit without a phone and not, you know, we don't need a damn phone all the damn time. You know, it's a shame. I've also been seeing people like post these videos like sitting in boredom for an hour without a phone, and they're like filming themselves sitting. It's like, dude, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? But you know, it's all good, baby. It's all good. I know I haven't given an update on my complain challenge, no complaint challenge for 21 days. But recently I got to day 8. I got all the way to day 8, and I hit a just a rough patch. So it sent me back to day 1. So today is actually day 2. But you know, I was kind of losing a little bit of hope in a sense. Like, man, I don't think I'll ever hit this complaint day, you know, 21 straight days without complaining. And then you know, I was like, damn, I'm getting close, man. I'm on day 7. I'm on day 8. And yeah, it sent me back, but at the same time, like, I realize now, like, you know, the rough patch that I hit, next time I can handle it a little bit better than what I did. And I'll be honest, man, it was, you know, I was, our daughter, she's been having a little bit of challenges at school, and you know, she's a good kid, man. She does have some issues with, like, you know, paying attention to the teacher, and I did too, you know, growing up. You know, when you are a creative kid, there's a lot of times where you're like, I don't want to do what they're telling me to do. I want to do this. And so it creates this, like, you know, for the teacher, it's frustrating, and I get it. I understand it. But I also see my daughter's side. And the other day, I did, you know, I was just grilling her, man, and just being a negative person. And, you know, I can handle that a lot better next time. And I'm going to, you know. And I noticed it. I noticed the fact that I needed to handle that situation better when it comes up again. So yeah, man. The art of noticing. It's a beautiful thing. And that's really what the complaint challenge really is just noticing. You know, noticing your thoughts before they come out of your mouth. So, I want to notice a better world for myself and for my family. I want to notice my weaknesses. I want to notice when I'm not being the man that I'm meant to be. I want to notice when I'm not being godly. I want to notice what I do when life gets tough. I want to notice the people that I didn't notice before. I want to notice the opportunities in my life that I'm always overlooking. Yeah, man. It's a beautiful thing, baby. But it's only beautiful if you notice it. You know? You create the world that you live in and the things that you notice. But in noticing them, are you noticing them as a negative or as a positive? You know, are you noticing things that are so negative all the time just so you can complain about them? Or are you noticing things that are great and you're accepting them for what they are? You know? What if we can't change anything in life? What if we can't change anything and we just have to accept it as it is? It's a thought. Saw something on TikTok recently. It's like radical acceptance, and just being radically accepting of everything, man. Just accepting what they are, noticing it, but just accepting. Yeah, man. It all comes back to just noticing. It all comes back to that. So, today, my goal, I want to be a pressure reliever for at least three people. And I'm going to count them. I'm going to take note on my phone. But I also want to notice things, man. I want to jot down 10 things that I notice throughout my day. 10 things. And honestly, I could probably already come up with like 20 things. You know, and it's only 7:30 in the morning that I've already noticed. I don't know what it's going to do for me to notice and jot this stuff down, but why not? Why not try it and see what happens? So, that's my goal. 3 people, relieve pressure, 10 things I want to notice. And, yeah, man. Maybe we'll talk about it on the next episode. So, much love. Hope you guys have a good day. We'll talk soon. Go check out my new song, too, dropping this Friday. So, you already know, baby. Keeping it moving. Have a good week. Much love. Peace.